I've posted a new link. I hope the audio is good now. Is the audio okay now? So can you hear me? Yeah, okay, good. So I think the audio is okay now. Yeah. So as I was saying, black wants to play the move pawn to c4, and if you play the move knight to f5, this would allow black to play the move pawn to c4. And this, for example, he could even put the knight on c5, maybe someday come to d3 or exchange the bishops like this via bishop to c5, and he has some counterplay. Maybe even at some point a5, b4. So black has good counterplay. So instead, Karpov decides to avoid all that counterplay with the move pawn to c4, thus completely blocking all ideas of black playing pawn to c4 himself. And this is again prophylactic move, preventing the opponent's threats. He was an expert in this. Yeah, so obviously taking would be completely pointless here. This would just allow the knight to come to a very strong square on c4. And now knight could even come to a5 in the future. The knight here is stuck, can be trapped by moves like queen b3. Pawn on e5 could be weak in some lines. So this is a very bad idea. So he decides to play the move pawn to b4. And at least like the knight could have some ideas of coming to c3 in the future. Now, again, if you'll notice, Karpov realizes that there's nothing much to be done on the queen side anymore and decides to shift to the king side and plays a brilliant move rook to f1. So now all the queen side play is shut for white. So just shifts and decides to go for the king side. So black's pieces are kind of stuck on the queen side, the knight here, the bishop here, the queen here. So it wouldn't be that easy for him to react. So he just decides to change. Yeah. And I mean, he's just adding some extra defense to e5, maybe to reinforce it with moves like bishop to d6. And again, Karpov plays a very strong move here, f4, just breaking open the center. And his bishop will be activated. The knight is ready to come to f5. This knight might come to f3. So from the queen side, he very easily managed to switch to the king side. This is what made him such a strong player. He could take such decisions very easily. Knight to d7, just I mean, adding defense to the e5 square. Now, if you take, black would just recapture with the knight. So knight would be quite well placed on e5. So obviously, black doesn't take, and he plays a very strong move here. Queen to c2, just attacking the rook, just attacking the knight. I mean, sorry. And now he might have ideas of knight f3, maybe knight f5, things like this. So black had to defend the knight. And now again he plays a very strong move. So this just shows how much he understood chess. Now he realizes that he doesn't want to allow this move. He takes f4, and then the knight coming to e5 or bishop coming to d6. So he just blocks it all with the move pawn to f5. And now white doesn't have any of these ideas. Black doesn't have any of these ideas of capturing here. And now he has closed up the queen side completely. Black doesn't really have any good play on the queen side. And the only one who can attack on the king side is white. So this just shows his chess understanding. Okay, knight f6. Black has to do something. I mean, he just can't wait to get checkmated. Again, a very, very strong move by white. Knight to e2. Realizing that this knight was at least a little annoying here, preventing his queen from coming to d1 and joining the action. So decides to just get rid of it with knight to e2. And black was forced to capture. There was no other move. Yeah. And now white's plan is very simple. He just wants to go g4, h4, g5. And white is, I mean, black doesn't really have much he can do to stop this. Plays bishop to d6, g4. He has maybe ideas of somehow defending it with the queen and the knight to h7. Some ideas like this, but it's just too slow. And white's play comes quite quickly. Just h4, and he is powerless to prevent the move pawn to g5. So now black realizes that just staying here would be suicide. He would just like push all the pawns. I mean, get these pieces out of the way, and the queen would join the action. It would just be all over for white, for black. I mean, He decides to run away with the king via e7. But I mean, black simply has nothing, no counterplay at all. Yeah, so let's just continue. We'll just finish this quickly. We'll just have a look at how easily he managed to execute this. So black has no counterplay, nothing to do. White is only one with any play. So he just brings the bishop to the best squares. Now it's only a matter of bringing all your pieces to the best squares. That's what he does very beautifully. The king on g1 was blocking the rooks from coming to the h file, so he gets rid of this. King is completely safe. Black has no way to attack. Now black takes over the h file, hoping to prevent white from doing the same. But doesn't matter. White is going to be the first one to achieve it. And now he makes a brilliant queen maneuver. This might look completely weird at first and hard to understand, but the idea is very simple. He is just putting some more pressure on the c5 pawn. He is doing two things at once. One, like just keeping all the control of the h file. Now, if he takes with the rook, the queen would just capture and white would have the h file. The queen might come to h7. And also, this pawn could be weak in some lines. He's going to put the king on f3, where the king is completely safe. There's no way to attack the king. There's not even a single check. He might put the knight on b3 in the future, and the c5 pawn will be very weak. So now he's doing a lot of things at once, attacking the c5 pawn, keeping his king safe, keeping watch over the h file. So this is the kind of chess Kapo was famous for. Now the knight comes to b3. He doesn't even realize White's idea, which is to put pressure on c5, and comes to b6. Now again, just for he wanting to take control of the h file. Extra pressure on c5. Finally, the king comes to f3. There's no way to take advantage of the king on f3. It's completely safe. c5 pawn is extremely weak for black. So black has to defend that. And again, a brilliant move. Pawn to a3, just opening up the b file. And this pawn can be won at any point by white if he wants. So look at how he shifts from here to here. First, he shifted from the queen side to the king side. Then again from the king side to the queen side, because that's where black's king is now. So yeah, I mean, black has pretty much no other option, and he just resigns finally. So all the pieces have joined the game, and I mean, whatever he does, if he blocks with the knight, he can just capture this, and it's game over. So this game just shows how easily Karpov was able to adapt to the situation and change plans. When the queen side play was not that easy, he went to the king side. Once he improved all his pieces on the king side, he came back to the queen side because black's king was there and just attacked the weaknesses one by one, kept watch over all parts of the board and managed to win. Okay, so that's it for today. Bye guys and good night.